again. Welcome to today's attempt at the TimeGuessr puzzle. This is a game that tests your history knowledge and geography knowledge. If I can talk, we'll be given a series of photos, 5 just like this one. For each one we have to say where in the world was it taken, but also when in history was it taken. It could be anywhere in the world, it could be anywhere in history from 1900 to the present day. And of course there's more points the closer you are, both on the map and on the timeline. I usually aim for about 2/3 to 3/4. Let's see how we get on today, and of course you can play along at home and leave your guesses in the comments. Right, I think we're starting with a pretty modern one. Clearly it's around Christmas. Is that going to be this Christmas? Quite possibly. So that's the year sorted. I mean, it doesn't have to be this year, but we'll assume it is. The main question is where. Can't quite read what it says on his top, but I suspect it's just going to be a brand name, so it's not going to help me anyway. I don't know what's going on in this photo. The problem is there are so many war zones and so many natural disasters happening at the moment that it really could be anywhere, sadly. There isn't even a flag to help me out. I mean, it's Johnston's baby oil, or Johnson's rather. That's clearly in English. Makes me think it's going to be America, Australia or Britain, but that's not a guarantee. Obviously those boxes can get everywhere. I might just have to assume it's in America, but I don't know where this is going to be. I really cannot think where this is. There's just so few clues. Let's go. I mean, I guess we'll go somewhere between Washington and New York. Why not? Oh, it was in southern Lebanon. I did think maybe it's to do with the Israeli fighting, but of course I thought if it's in Israel itself, they're going to be celebrating Hanukkah rather than Christmas. And after that, I focused on the fact that the box was in English, and so I moved on. At least we were pretty close on the year, but of course it was always going to be pretty close on the year. Not so close on the location. Alright, this one we might get the other way around. I think maybe the location will be easier than the year. This looks super old. What have we got? Ireland against France in the rugby, possibly in the Six Nations. But do I know when? I'm not sure there's any clues about the year. I'm surprised this is so old though. I mean, rugby's been around for a while, but nowhere near as long as football, and this looks just super old. It can't be as old as it looks, I don't think. Just based on the look and the quality of the photo, I'd have guessed about, I don't know, pre-World War II. I'm just not sure it can be based on my knowledge of rugby. I mean, it was started in 1883, wasn't it, I think? Was that when William Webb Ellis picked up the football in rugby? But I mean, I'm not sure they started to have like internationals like this all that long ago. But it's so old, I cannot bring myself to go any later than 1962, which is the midpoint of the timeline. I'm just going to go 1962, or 1952 rather. I'm going to go in Paris, because, I mean, it's got to be in France. I don't know exactly where it's going to be, but clearly Paris is a decent shout. Oh, it was so much earlier. Oh, it was at Olympic Stadium. I did not know the Five Nations started that old. The Rugby World Cup, I think, started a lot more recent than that. I did say we're going to get a lot closer on the location than on the year on that one, and it proved to be correct. That's annoying. I should have just gone based on the quality of the photo. I did say pre-World War, World War II anyway, and it was. This one, I'm thinking the same thing. This is another terrible quality photo. Look, it's still safety Kodak. It's got the whole frame and everything. On the bright side, location is a lot easier. It's clearly in America. It's got assigned to Dallas. Let's hope that's the Dallas that I've heard of. I suppose once we zoom in on the map, hopefully some of these other cities will be nearby. What is going on in this photo? What are they queuing up for? I've got no idea what's going on. Something war related as well, probably. So therefore, I guess I'm going to go 1945. I mean, it's not 1900 because the ladies have got their legs showing, which they clearly wouldn't have if it was too old. Let's try 1944. I've been burnt by the previous one. There's a chance this is in the 20s or 30s, so we'll go 44 rather than 45 for what it's worth. Right, let's try and find Dallas. That is down there. Is there a Beaumont and a Livingston or an Angleton anywhere nearby? I just want to find one of them. There's an Arlington. That is not Angleton. So is there a different Dallas, or have some of these other towns and cities just popped up more recently than this photo? I don't know. I mean, if there is a different Dallas, it could be anywhere. So I think I'm going to plonk it there and just hope. I'm only 1 year off, and it was in the war and it was in Texas, so I was pretty close. American men drafted under the selective service system during World War II stand in line at Army Reception Centre. I said it looked warlike, and for the first time I was pretty close on both the year and the location. Right, we're up and running now. Oh, we're not up and running. We've got another super difficult one. They're always difficult when they're in black and white. This has got to be more recent than the previous two, and hopefully it is going to be in Mexico, and that's not going to be a dirty trick and a red herring. So again, the only question is, what is the year? I'm going to have to assume it's 1955 based on that. Let's not overthink it. We'll go 55. And, yeah, I can't see the road signs or anything, so we're just going to go in Mexico City. Let's just plonk it there. It was 55, what are the odds? And it was in Mexico City, so that was a super easy one. Much easier than it looked like it was going to be to start with. Right, question 5. What have we got here? Student who said Yopilantano, does that say? That is very interesting, because my first thought was German, but Lastau? If it's Lantano, then that kind of sounds Scandinavian. But some of these Surasan, I mean, that does sound Finnish, to be fair, the double A. Are there any other clues? Tullberg City, does that say? Oh, but that's just the name of the shop. I mean, it still sounds Scandinavian, but it definitely could be German. I suppose the good news is the north of Germany is not that far from Scandinavia. Valio Asu. Hophab. Suomi. Okay. I did say Finland. Suomi is Finnish for Finland, I think. So we'll go Finland. Again, I'm struggling to work out what year it is. It's a pretty decent quality photo, but it is in black and white. Is that motion blur because it's an old quality photo? Have they just done a trick by making it black and white even though it could easily be in colour? Is it just stylised? I really don't know. There's a bus. That makes it seem relatively recent, but it's black and white. I'm going to go 85. I just daren't go any later given that it is black and white. But it really looks relatively modern, so I don't think it's any earlier. I'm just very worried that it's later, but we'll stick with that. We'll go for Helsinki, and we will hope that it's not a trick and that it is actually 85 or thereabouts. It was 84 in Helsinki! We've ended with 2 huge successes, one slightly easier than the other, but I'll take that. We've somehow rescued 38,000. That is over 77%, which means I've hit my 3/4, haven't I? It's definitely over 75%. I said I was aiming for 2/3 to 3/4. We beat that target somehow after 3 relatively bad ones to start with. I mean, look how far off I was on this line. That's terrible. But I'm pretty happy with that overall score. Let me know how you got on with this one. Thank you for watching and bye for now.